This woman committed a crime so traumatizing that all the jury members on her trial had to get therapy afterwards. This is 38-year-old Veronica Youngblood. She grew up in poverty in Argentina, where at a young age she was constantly physically abused and John Epstein by men in her family. As she got older, she became a woman of the night in order to take care of her oldest daughter. In 2007, she met this man, Ron Youngblood, who was a Navy pilot and was stationed in Argentina around that time period. They ended up falling in love, had a child, and got married in 2015, where they ended up relocating over to Virginia, but then was shortly divorced a year afterwards. Now, Ron loved his daughters, and even though the oldest was not his, he still treated her as if she was his own. Veronica knew that Ron would do anything for his daughters, so she would use that to her advantage by using the girls as leverage. Veronica would use the girls in any kind of way just to get Ron to do whatever she wanted. Even during their custody battles, she would still use the girls just to try to get a one-up on Ron. So at one of their court hearings, Ron had announced to the judge that he was planning on moving to Missouri because he got a job there, and had requested that he take his youngest daughter, 5-year-old Brooklyn Youngblood, with him. And Veronica did not like the idea because she was planning on staying in Virginia. The judge in their case didn't see a problem with that, and so he allowed Ron to move as well as take his daughter with him. Now, Veronica, on the other hand, she didn't like the idea that the judge went in Ron's favor and allowed him to move along with his daughter, and so she realized the leverage she had over Ron was no longer there, so she hatched a plan that she knew would hurt Ron the deepest. So in August of 2018, Veronica had the girls over and they all had a movie night where she got popcorn and candy and they all had a great time, and then the girls got tired and wanted to go to bed. So everything was quiet throughout the night until 911 dispatchers received a phone call from Veronica's oldest daughter, Sharon Castro, saying that she has been shot and it was her mother that did it. While at the same time, Ron would get this phone call from Veronica with her bragging about what she just did that night. Police would arrive at Veronica's apartment and arrest her on 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of felony assault with a deadly weapon. During her police interview, Veronica would go into details of what she did that night, and what ended up happening was the candy that she gave her daughters were actually gummy bears laced with melatonin. Now, once she was sure that both girls were asleep, she went ahead and carried out her plan and unalived both of them. 5-year-old Brooklyn Youngblood would pass away after a single shot. 15-year-old Sharon Castro was hit twice, but she had enough energy to call 911 and let them know what happened, but she shortly passed away once she got to the hospital. Some of you may be wondering, why would a woman do this to her own children? And that's because in cases like these, people tend to do what's known as spousal revenge. And whereas in order for them to get revenge on their spouse, they take out the thing they care about the most, which is their children. Which was the reason why Veronica did this in the first place, because she didn't like the fact that Ron had won his custody case for his youngest daughter, and so to get revenge on him, she took out her own daughters just so he wouldn't have custody of her. Veronica would plead not guilty by reason of insanity, but the judge had to throw that out because the jury didn't believe that mental illness played a part in her decision to give her daughter sleeping pill gummies before shooting them. The prosecutor would state that everything she did was manipulative and calculated. During the trial, the jury would hear the 911 phone call made by the eldest daughter, which they found so disturbing that they all requested they take trauma therapy because of how traumatic the call was. In March of 2023, Veronica would be found guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of felony use of a firearm, in which she was sentenced to 78 years in prison. Veronica's defense team would ask the judge if her sentence could run concurrently instead of consecutively, which would reduce her time from 78 years to 42 years. The judge would quickly turn that down because he saw no reason to reduce her sentence, because he stated that mothers and fathers have responsibilities and nothing is more important than making sure that your children are safe, and it's just a tragic that you as an instrument of their own death. So Veronica is currently sitting in prison right now doing 78 years on all charges running concurrently, which is one after the other.